Hi, this video is for the refuah shlema of Yehuda Meir ben Yakira. He should have complete recovery quickly and speedily. Let's do this. We're going to hit B'reisheet. It's the first portion of the Torah. The Torah is divided up into 52 parts to be read over the course of the year. So we're starting with B'reisheet. Here we go. Today I'm going to give you an overview. Okay, it's just an overview of the portion. We'll try and get a little bit more into it over the course of the week, but here we go. So it starts very importantly with B'reisheet bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, that's everything. The universe. God creates the universe. Okay, just so you know, I'm working from the Art Scroll. I have a travel version. It's mini. But it's great. It has a great commentary at the bottom in English, easy to read, easy to follow. So we start with that. We start with the creation of the universe. B'reisheet bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. And then what happens is it goes through the 7 days of creation, okay, when God created each thing, right? And what's interesting is on the seventh day, God creates Shabbat. The seventh day of the week is God creates this concept called rest. We don't have rest before that. God creates rest. Thank goodness, right? So what we do here is so interesting is we actually on Friday nights when you make the Kiddush, when you make Kiddush on your grape juice and then you have your challah afterward. Let me see if I can find that. I forgot to write that down. Of course, now I need it. Anyway, so what we do is we actually say this verse in the Kiddush. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am vayachal Elokim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikom melachto asher asa vayvarech Elokim et yom hashvi'i vaykadesh oto ki bo Shabbat mikom melachto asher bara Elokim lasot. So by the seventh day, God completed his work, which he had done, and he stopped. He abstained, actually is the better word, on the seventh day from all of his work which he had done. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it because on it he abstained from his work that God created to make. So on Shabbat, we actually say that paragraph straight out of this parsha, out of this portion. Very cool. Anyway, so then the narrative goes on. By the way, I want to use the word narrative here, not story. Story gets into our mind, fairy tales and stuff. This is real. This is your inheritance. The Torah is your inheritance forever. Yours, your kids, your grandkids, and so on. This is your gift, personal gift from God, handed to you at Sinai. Don't take it lightly, please. It's special. And the more you learn, the more you'll understand how special it really is. It's great. So we go on from the creation narrative to Adam and Eve, Adam and Chava. The narrative of the snake, God creates this amazing garden and says to Adam, there's this tree here, tree of knowledge. I'm sticking in the middle of the garden. Don't touch it. Okay? He says, he says, don't eat from it. Okay? That's where a big mistake happens. But anyway, so Adam says to Eve, God said, don't touch it. So what happens? He actually does not communicate that correctly because God didn't say don't touch it. God said don't eat it. Okay? So the snake comes along and says to Chava, says to Eve, touch it, see what happens. Nothing happens. She takes a bite. She gets Adam to eat. And everything goes downhill from there. Right? Big stuff. Now, what's interesting and very important here is the punishment that they get is a physical punishment, not a spiritual punishment, a physical punishment where man has to work to get the land to bring out the produce. And women have pain in childbirth. There's more than that, but it's all physical, We don't believe in original sin. This is an error. Okay, we don't pay forever and ever on a spiritual level. We pay on a physical level, but that's a different story. So it's a very important point. We don't believe in original sin. There was a mess up here, a miscommunication, and an error. But we don't pay for it forever and ever with the original sin. So just an important point. They get sent out from the Garden of Eden. Cain and Abel are born. Cain is a farmer. Abel is a shepherd. And they both bring offerings to God of their stuff. So Abel brings his best. He brings his best of his flock. And Cain not so much. God accepts Abel's offering, but not Cain's. And Cain gets upset about it. Understandable. But what's most interesting here is chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. I just wanted to point out here a fascinating conversation. That when Cain was upset, right, that God didn't take his offering, God says to him, why are you annoyed? And why did your face fall? You know, when somebody gets upset, their face falls. And it says, surely if you improve yourself, this is verse 7, you will be forgiven. But if you do not improve yourself, sin rests at the door. Its desires toward you, but you can conquer it. So here is God telling Cain, don't worry, you messed up. Let's fix it. This is a concept of teshuvah. We can fix it. If God tells Cain, who's bringing his offering and messed up, he didn't bring the best. He brought, whatever he brought. But it's okay. You messed up. Let's try again. But he says, if you improve yourself, you'll be forgiven. Okay? Straight up, teshuvah, right there. But if you don't improve yourself, sin will, you're gonna mess up more. Just try again. And what's interesting is then almost the next line is he kills Abel, right? And God says to Cain, where is Abel your brother? Now, does God not know where Abel's brother is? Of course he knows where he is. He's dead. But by asking that question, he's giving Cain a chance to fess up, to say, yeah, I blew it. I blew it big time. He's giving him a chance, right? He's saying, where is your brother? It's kind of like, the kid comes in with a chocolate face and you remember you left the chocolate cake in the fridge and, you told everybody not to touch it, but of course, that's how it goes. And the kid comes in with a chocolate face and you say, oh, is there something on your face? And the kid goes, no, there's nothing on my face. You're giving them a chance to kind of say, oh, it was me. Yeah, I did it. But, Cain blows it, okay? But he had a chance, and God actually says, come on, work with me, basically. Okay? So from there, we have a list of the chronology till we get to Noah. And the Parsha ends with the world becoming a bad place. God regrets making mankind and basically decides to destroy everything and start over again. But the last line of the Parsha basically is, where did it go? Of course, is V'Noach matza chen be'enei Hashem. And Noah found grace in the eyes of Hashem. So we see, this is where we're going to end up, is the world's going to get destroyed, and Noach's the guy who's going to start over again. But here, we don't know, this is where it ends. Noach finds grace in the eyes of Hashem. So this is a huge chapter, first chapter of the entire Torah. And I just want to remind you, this is special. This is a very special thing. And just a thought to leave you on is, remember that we got the Torah in a desert. On our way out of Egypt, at the Exodus narrative, on our way back, on our way to the land of Israel. And Hashem gives us the Torah in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. And our rabbis teach us that what this tells us is that the Torah is for everywhere, in every place. It's not restricted to a place. It's not restricted to the land of Israel. It's not restricted to wherever it is you're living. It was not given in a particular country or a particular area. It was given in the desert where there's pretty much nothing. There are animals around, a little bit of scrub, whatever there's, but Torah was given in the desert for all time in all places. So it's a special, special thing, and it's a gift to all of us Jews. And there's so much to be learned, and I just barely scratched the surface, but I hope you get an idea of something you can take away from this. It's very important to take some idea from something. That's something you newly learned. Have a great day, and we'll check in next time. Bye-bye.